What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show. Sorry, I'm not looking at you. I'm just doing something else. Anyway, welcome in. As always, hope you guys are doing well. It is, what day is it? Monday. Oh, man, Mondays are like the worst. Anyway, it is Monday. I messed around with my lights a little bit yesterday. I don't know if you guys know, actually. I did a couple of things last night. Messed around with my light setup, which kind of feels a little bit better. It feels a little bit darker there, but it actually feels okay. I feel like I look a little bit lighter, and the background's a little bit more, not right. My 2 is definitely not right, though, in the background. Anyway, and yeah, also tried a slightly different setup in terms of just kind of how my content came out. And I don't know if it was better or not. I mean, early signs are, certainly views look a little bit better. People seem to have kind of engaged a little bit more with the content, which is good news. So hopefully that all plays out pretty well. And hopefully we can all keep you guys up to speed and bullish on what is going on. But a very interesting day in the markets. Very interesting, actually. Lots of debate, lots of things to talk about, and lots of things to very much get into this evening. So, yeah, I don't know what the heck is going on with the... I don't know what is going on with my 2 in the background. It's a little bit mental, isn't it? It's a little bit mental, but... It's a little bit mental, but I don't know why it's doing it. Should we do that one? Does that feel a bit better? I don't know if that feels a bit better. Oh my God. I mean, this is like the worst thing in the world, anyway. If I don't speak, it goes off. Anyway, right. Okay, fine. Fine. I'm not going to lose much sleep over that. We'll get into that and do all that anyway. Markets look pretty good. Good, solid movement today. Bitcoin looking pretty healthy. A start to what will be, I'm sure, a very big week for everybody involved in the cryptocurrency market. So, look, we're going to get into all of that. We'll take a look at some price action, look at the charts, and anything else. Shane, what's going on? Thank you for the heart me's. Appreciate it. And everything else. So, first and foremost, before we get into it, big shout out, Big Shaq. To one and only 37 Hopper joining the members. Thank you so much for your support. Appreciate you. Welcome in. You get a cool ass little coin next to your name. And yeah, we got some stuff coming in for our members. Enjoy the emojis that only you and 2 other people get to use. So yeah, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. Welcome in. And if you are in the Discord, we will get you set into that private VIP area. That's what you get if you become a subscriber, if you become a member. So anyway, shout out to you, 37. And welcome to everybody else that's tuned in. I see Fairground down there, 23, Chopped, all the rest of the gang. We'll talk all things cryptocurrency, market analysis, views, and we're going to be talking about ETFs, institutional buying, and more importantly, what's going on with Tether and how this could really play out in a very bullish sentiment. All of that in tonight's stream. As always, we're going to get into everything. So welcome in. Craig, good to see you. Swamp's here. DGen, Brian. Yeah, Brian with a very good important point. Says just don't use your ledger. It's probably not a bad shout right now. There's lots of stuff. We're going to talk about that first because that is pretty important. We're going to get into that and all of the rest of it in just a second. Beebs, what's going on? Welcome in. Good to see you. Poeman says 2-bit 37. All the rest of the gang, what's going on, buddy? Tomato Pete is here. 37, looking cool ass in the green. Love it. Mr. Tim Shea, Tiberio, ciao. What's going on, buddy? JC, welcome. Moto, Andy Box, even 2-bit. Check out WorldCoin. Holy crap. Check out Aether. Have you seen that? Let's go, baby. Mark Noby's in the house. Welcome in. And then everybody here on TikTok. So, Fairground, who is James? Welcome in. Christian, Rafa, good to see you, man. Shane, I already said hello to you, but thank you so much for the heart me's. Kenny's in the building. What's going on, Kenny? Sam's here, Jay Green's here. It says, bro, BR95 says, please check out MYX Finance, held my position. It's safe to say I'm a happy man. Definitely. We'll get into all of that. Very bullish. Very good day, actually. Lots of altcoins have a nice little run. Lots of, bottom end, if you like, or what we deem as maybe fringe assets starting to move a little bit. FYI, just for complete and utter transparency, just because I want to get off my chest and I don't want people to call me out on it, I did actually buy some World Liberty Finance, but more importantly, I actually do hold Aether as well. And I don't know if you guys have seen this, but it looks like a freaking meme coin. Look at this. Aether was looking down and out at the 3 range, and it's going absolutely mental right now. Here's my prediction. Send it higher. 72%. I've been buying this mother trucker. Buying this while it's been going down. I bought in a little bit too high. I've just been buying it. And holy shit balls. I'm pretty happy. One of which I called up as the top coin for 2025. Holmes been absolutely tearing it up, talking about all of this kind of good stuff. And look, finally today we get this breakout. Hopefully this will now continue. The only thing I would say, and I'm not 100% certain as to exactly why. I didn't really get a chance to have a look in it. The kids are a bit of a nightmare. But anyway, who gives a flying? That looks pretty solid as well as that market moves. So good news. Right. Let's start back here at Bitcoin. We'll work our way through. Pretty interesting level right now on BTC. We did actually wick up to the 50-day exponential moving average, got rejected on that. If you go to a slightly small time frame, you can see it. We did actually break above that line. This key resistance line that I've drawn on the charts is becoming very important as the next big mover, as we hopefully see Bitcoin's trying to push it. Yes, why? It's because Ether actually makes money, JC. I love it. Yeah, the volume bar is insane, isn't it? I mean, it's just gone absolutely crazy. Look at this massive. Everyone is freaking buying it right now. And this is, again, the power of DCAing. This is where the superpower that many people don't use, then the conviction in cryptocurrency does play off normally. So yeah, pretty good news. Selma, what's going on, buddy? Welcome, welcome, welcome. So Bitcoin at a very important point as markets today looked very optimistic. We saw the Asian market come in nice. The European markets bought in and the US markets just kind of held up and we're like, yep, that's fine. Two things to note here. On the 12-hour chart, we have officially flipped bullish on the RSI MACD trend, which is very, very good news indeed. This could signal a rally. I do want us to close above 112.255 though. I think this is an important measure to close. This would signal that we should break above the 50-day exponential moving average. The 20-day, we are very much above. We are, however, wanting to see this 20-day come back to the upside, cross back over the 50, showing us and confirming a bullish trend. Now, the indicator here has also flipped bullish here on the 12-hour chart. So certainly we're getting there. Very marginally, we are just teasing short-term bullish sentiment right now, returning into the cryptocurrency market and returning into Bitcoin, as well as some of the rest of the altcoins. We had two very important interviews today. Michael Saylor coming in, predicting that we would see a pretty strong performance. Tom Lee also giving his view that a 200,000 Bitcoin by the end of the year is pretty much loaded in. If you are not subscribed or you're not following me on TikTok, make sure you are. I've got some great content coming out for you guys later on and tomorrow, so you want to tune into that. So like I said here, I'm looking for that. Once again, though, we aren't bullish on the daily. We are pretty much bullish on every other time frame that you could look at, with the exception of, you know, maybe the last 30 minutes, an example, as the Bitcoin price drops down. But the reality here is that we're very much bullish all the way up, and including the 12-hour, we need the daily to flip. That's why I'm saying we probably need to close above 112.250. That would tell us markets are heading in the right direction. Very much the sentiment is starting to reverse. This would be good news, ahead of what we also anticipate, predict, and hope that's going to come in at the end of this week, which will be obviously CPI and the PPI data report, which as we go through this week, we'll sort of touch on any macro stuff that's going to come in or any data that I think is important. At the minute, very much quiet out there. Still numbers kicking around that we talked about yesterday. Still expectation coming in at a 0.3 versus now revised forecast at 0.4. Traditionally, it was 0.6. So that would be PPI coming in obviously on Wednesday, so important to note. The rest of the altcoin market, Ethereum just holding up, not bad. Again, though, underneath this support, critical that Ethereum breaks back above now. We were talking about this before. In my opinion, you need to see back above 4,300, which would again put it back above this line. If you think about where we've had ETH drawn on this chart now for a while, it is trending below this line. We need to see this line absolutely get beasted to the upside. We want to see ETH push back above that. That's what we need to see. Solana looking very bullish, and I talked about this yesterday. If you were here in the live stream, we said exactly what could happen here. Literally exactly this point. Watch out for the bounce off this very critical level. By the way, if you are either a subscriber on TikTok, a membership holder here on YouTube, you do actually get free access to our VIP access group on our Discord as well, where we post daily updates in terms of trade setups, etc. So check out the link in the description for that. Cardano is holding up a pretty well. The rest of the markets look okay. Zebek, for all those that are in, actually looked like it was going to break out and then got rejected. Aerodrome at 116 is a pretty good buy as well. Likewise, we talked about this, but Aether going crazy. We don't need to go back above it, but looks insane. World Liberty Finance. Now, given that this took a big old dumperino down over the course of the night, was looking very bullish, in my opinion, by the way, and we touched on this yesterday, so if you were here on the channel, congrats. Then we talked about how I thought this could see as a push down. This could definitely see an overextended. I think the exact terminology that I used was, I feel like this is manipulation to try and get people to come and buy in. What happened exactly as we anticipated, that we then saw this correction down, which then led me to believe that, okay, this big wick at the bottom here, I actually had some buy orders setting at 19, I think it was like 1999 and like 2050 or something like that. Anyway, so I actually have taken a position in it. Not all the position, I want to get into it. I have a little bit more that I want to see what happens. Again, I'm confident here that if it dips a little bit further, fine. the sum of money that I want to put into this particular coin, I don't fully have exposure to it yet, which is a good place to be. That's how you want to invest in it. So if this was to drop a little bit more, fine, cool, all right. I'll get into it. Feels like this holding around the 2065 range is important. The neat things to note, slightly bearish here on the 1 hour chart. You look at the 4 hour, it's so early we don't even have the data for it. But look, downward trend could see a reversal and could start to come back to the upside. So yeah, everyone asking about Athea going absolutely insane. Love to freaking see it. Send it higher. Again, something we've been talking about now forever. Shout out to Holmes for certainly putting me onto this play. And I know a number of the other guys have been buying as well. I mean, just look at that. It went from 5.1 to 5.3. It's literally trading like a freaking meme coin right now. Like, what the hell? Send it. Anyway, good news on Athea. Chainlink sitting pretty flat. Nothing too crazy going on there. The rest of the markets holding up pretty well until you get into the meme coin space. Bonk. Shout out to one and only Mr. Craig. Getting involved in Bonk. And good news, that one's playing out pretty well. Up 10%. As are some of the other meme coins. Pepe up 3%. Brett 7%, Pengu at 10%. I've been talking about that on my second channel. Make sure you are definitely watching that. And then one that I was looking at, although I do still think is going to be important, is Pump Fun. Again, not an endorsement, sponsorship, or anything else important, but I think this still has a place. But I went, will there be financial? We'll see how that one turns out. Rest of the markets, what they look like. S&P rallying yet again. NASDAQ up, looking super bullish. FTSE and the Russell all having a pretty good move as well. So sentiment, let's go on TikTok. Sentiment certainly is very optimistic. And in my opinion, we are starting the week as we mean to go on. This, therefore, could play out very, very, very good news for us as this continuation comes down. Gold, again, breaking the new all-time high, which at the minute, people are still, people are still a little bit wanting de-risking. That's why people are going into gold. But, yeah, I think this week, certainly in my opinion, should play out very favorable and should play out exactly as we've been talking about. And I think... And again, I could be wrong, and I'm definitely curious as to what a lot of people think. I think a lot of those people that have been calling that the end is here and that the market's going down and that we missed the top are all going to pivot. I guarantee Mr. Dr. Profit pivots by the end of the week. Definitely. Bits Plays in the house. What's going on, buddy? What's going on? Okay, good. Right, let me just get a recap. Just a couple of people joining. They're red on the bubbles on the hour, green on the day. Yeah. Yeah, I seen that. Arbitrum, please. SCMB, we'll take a look at that in a minute. But my opinion of Arbitrum hasn't changed since we bought it, held it, sold it. Dow coin, not really doing much. Be down tomorrow, it has to. Let's hope not. Let's hope not. What's going on? Camille, good to see you, man. Welcome. Davo, good to see you. Thank you for your message earlier on as well, bro. Appreciate that. It made me smile. Brian K's in the house. Well, everybody's here, like I said. Don't be afraid. Do tap that screen on TikTok. Does massively help out. The algorithm is everyone's like, yo, let's get involved. Freaking 2-bit crypto's live. Obijo, yeah, I'm good, man. If I'm dead honest with you, Obijo, I fell asleep about 15 minutes before I came live, which is never good. Aether is woken up, but Treble and Bitcoin Solaris are flattening. Pretty sure the coming alt season won't be Spectrum too many coins. Yeah, it's true. Chainlink's still the buy. I would wait, Joe, bro, personally. I'd wait to see. I still think it's a good optimistic buy. I still think Chainlink's got some very good opportunities, but definitely just wait and see. Cheese, what's going on? Good to see you, man. I get into bonk if it was a pick of what? TurboGraph 16 bonk. That's an OG. Nice. Greg's in profit. If that doesn't make you believe in Jesus, nothing will. Do you think rate cuts are on the way? 100% rate cuts are on the way. The debate is only how big. Any news for Jasmine? Did you not see? There's loads of news for Jasmine. It went crazy yesterday. Davo. Yeah, loads of big news for Jasmine, actually. It's only at 1.5% today, but yeah, they announced a couple of key developments, a couple of key dates in the diary that they're going to be out, talking about Jasmine and a couple of new things coming to Junction as well. So yeah, we'll if we get time, we'll touch on it. But yeah, develop TikTok. Let's get it, TikTok, you legend. The end is near. The end is now when Bitcoin's high makes grown men cry and Ethers makes altcoins. That's true. Rate cut Sammy Silver. We only have a week to go, everybody. 17th of September, make sure you are dialed in. Crowcoin down to 25 cents, by the way. But anyway, right. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the overall view of the market. Still holding up pretty well. We'll keep an eye on Bitcoin price just as it kind of plays out over the course of this live stream. Yeah, we took a little bit of a 4-hour dump. I don't necessarily think it's bad. Overall trend is definitely up. Macro sentiment tells us that the actual price is going up. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we're all heading up. WorldCoin went crazy. Okay, let me bring this up. What's it called? It's WLD, isn't it? WLD on Bybit. Oh, I didn't mean to do perpetual contracts. I don't want to do that. I want spot. Swap crypto spot on Binance. Here we go. Here we go. That's what I want. 150. Holy crap. It's up 45%. Still nothing compared to Aethia, though. Like, what? Yeah, WorldCoin looks like it went up. Is there something between WorldCoin and Aethia then? Like, that's crazy. That is crazy. But you love to see it, baby. Hey, we love to see alts move. And yeah, think of this. The total 2 up 1.12%. The overall market up 0.94, telling us sentiment definitely is returning. And for all of those that thought I was a crazy person talking about alt season 2 weeks ago, well, looks like I was right. You were wrong, so shut up. Anyway, MYX Finance, BR95, stick around. In 15 minutes, we do the DeFi section where we'll take a look at all of those coins that you guys want to take a look at for sure. So, yeah. Stick around, my man, you massive legend. You've got about 15 minutes to it. Please check out my position is. Yeah. Oh, all right. Only because it's you. I want to see it. Oh, let's bring up coin. Let's do coin market cap, actually. Is it worth getting into Ethereum? Connor price? No. Just my opinion, by the way. It's up 60-9%. Like, I mean, it's an insane buy on that green candle. You are witnessing insanity and FOMO to the max. Now, could this go on break a zero? Maybe. Could it be the greatest coin that's ever lived? Maybe. Probably is going to correct at some point. So, by the way, other coins will do that. You just got to be positioned in the right coins. Holy shit! It's up 277% on MYX Finance. Oh my god! No wonder you're a happy person. What the hell has happened in the markets today? Is there something that I've not seen? Jesus! MYX Finance looking absolutely crazy right now. Hey, fair play to you, BR95. That is pretty bullish. I'm not going to lie to you. That's up 1,000% in the last week. Christ. Fair play, 654 milli. And it's not even listed on anything. Oh, it's a Bitcoin at Binance Alpha, BitGetMexi. Well, fair play to you. That is a monster of a move as well. Good. I love it when the community is making gains, by the way. I absolutely freaking love it. Love it. And I love it when it's coins that we've talked about. I love it when it's coins that, like, you know, people have discussed on this channel. Again, I've said it, and I've said this will be the third time I say it. I am positioned in Aethia thanks to Holmes. Do you know what I mean? I got in because he was talking about it, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to have a look at it and see what I'm about. And so I got into it. And interestingly enough, by the way, just FYI, if you guys aren't subscribed to my YouTube channel, this was a list of coins I talked about making 10x gains in September. Obviously not financial advice, but just look at some of the freaking moves already. A massive set of choppers. People called me a lunatic. Look at this. Look at this. Story up 10%. Aethia 65%. Zebek 11. Movement 4. Snek 11. Toshi. Belladex finally turns green. Ordinals. Who'd have called ordinals there on the Bitcoin chain up 10%? I'm just, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, everybody. People will go much all these like complete just lunatics that just don't know what they're talking about, and they won't be here. Make sure you're in the Discord. Definitely worth it. Hey, Team Unique, what's going on, buddy? Welcome to you. Rate cuts, Chris Moore. They're coming, baby. Do we pull back at rate cuts? No, we go even higher. It's going to get crazy. Hopefully, anyway. Just want to maybe keep an eye on, bro. Happy to help. Hey, BR95, you need to tell me about that fraud like 7 days ago. 8 days ago, I need a little text, didn't I? Hey, bro, check out this. It's going to go insane. My crystal ball tells me. Anyway, that is ultimately what we want the VIP premium Discord section to be all about. Coins are going to go absolutely insane, as well as price action and charts. So if you're interested in all that, make sure you subscribe or become a member on the YouTube channel for a few bucks a month. It's going to be definitely worth it. Anyway, I actually don't have much in World of Bit Finance at all. It's not fine. Whoa, I thought I was the only one still holding Audi. Hey, JC, it's on the freaking move. Bates Coin, what's going on? Good to see you, buddy. Right, let's get into a little bit more alpha updates, keeping you guys very much dialed into what's going on in the market, as always. Do me a quick favor, though, if you can, if you're on YouTube, head down, find that thumbs up, give it a little tap. It's going to make you feel better. It's going to make your day brighter, and the sun is going to shine brighter tomorrow. So if you do that, and likewise, if you're here on TikTok, hopefully you're enjoying the microphone experience. Just tap the screen for me. It massively helps out, and just lets people know, hey, there's this guy, and he's from God's own county, and he really likes cryptocurrency, and he's got one of the best communities in the world, and not enough people know about it. So we need to let people know about it, all right? We need to let people know. Good. I'm still sitting and waiting. Eventually the money will come around. Right. Yeah. Poor man. 100%. Power of community positions be fire the pump. But not telling people afterwards. Exactly. Sol will change the game. Joe, bro. I think you're right. I see XRP going 310 this week. Let's hope so. What's your thoughts on Quan? Will grind way higher in the bull market. Is it going to do a 10x? Probably not. But yeah, I mean, the whole ISO thing, is it November 22nd or something? Watch out for that. Quan. you know, all those kind of coins. Anyway, Michael Saylor today acquiring 1,955 Bitcoin, $217.4 million. FYI, by the way, Saylor has bought $19 billion worth of Bitcoin so far this year at a pretty staggering rate, actually. 111,000 per Bitcoin and achieving a BTC yield of 25.8%, better than any other company. However, did not get listed on the S&P 500. Robinhood making a surprise entry to that. But anyway, good news, by the way. If I had a crystal ball, like you said, I would have brought my... I know, mate, I know. Anyway, the power of community, like I said, if I'd have known... I mean, in fairness, like I said, I've been buying Athea even while it's been going down. It's my new strategy. You're like, oh my God, it's going down. Right, just buy some more. Buy some more. It's gone down some more. Fine, just keep buying the dip. Buy the dip. Buy the dip. Anyway, so Saylor coming in pretty bullish, which is good news as well. Right, this is the only thing. This is important, right? We have to put our serious faces on, our serious heads on, and just discuss this very, very quickly, just so that everyone is very much crystal clear on what's going on. So, the CEO of Ledger, Mr. Charles Goulabet, said this: a large-scale supply chain attack is in progress. The NPM account of a reputable developer has been compromised. The effective packages have already been downloaded over 1 billion times, meaning the entire JavaScript ecosystem may be at risk. This malicious payload works by silently swapping crypto addresses on the fly to steal funds. If you use a hardware wallet, namely Ledger's, pay attention to every transaction before signing and you're safe. If you don't use a hardware wallet, refrain from making any on-chain transactions for now. It's still unclear whether the attacker is also stealing seeds from software wallets directly at the stage. Excellent report here by JDS Strick. Basically, right now, if you have a Ledger, my advice, don't use it. All right? So, I mean, some people will have to, you know, if you're transacting, you got to pay for things, whatever it is. But I would just let this wash through. Let this, you know, work its way through. The last thing you want to do, by the way, is end up losing everything at this moment in time. However, you can use it. Please, please, please make sure you are checking exactly what's on your ledger, what's on the screen, what's on your screen, that it's all legit, kosher, and very much dialed in. My only advice, and again, this is just a strategy I'm doing. You don't have to do it. I started plugging my ledger in. It is not going anywhere near my computer. I haven't signed into MetaMask. I'm doing freaking nothing. If I need to access any of my wallets, I'll access them through my phone. It's just way easier. So again, public service announcement. Everybody make sure that you are dialed on that. Lots of stuff going around about this. Compromised libraries. Just to give you an idea, by the way, if around 300 million weekly downloads. The debug is 358 million. And the ANSI styles is 371. This is a big deal, everybody. So again, please be mindful. Please just make sure you're very much dialed in. The last thing you need is you lose it all. If you don't use your hardware wallet, refrain from making any on-chain transactions right now. That's basically the stance I would go. Again, very much up to you guys. If you want to go and do it, then crack on. But I think it's important just to give that public service announcement that right now, if you use your ledger, make sure you check everything. All right. So not saying it's bad, not saying it's like gonna lose everything, but make sure you do. You check everything. All right, good. Slightly bearish sentiment. Anyway, look at this. Tether was the fourth largest buyer of Bitcoin in the last 12 months compared to ETFs. Let's get it, baby. Lots of FUD going around about Tether right now and the fact that they don't have the Bitcoin reserves based upon their company expectations and their auditing services. So what do they do today? Went and buy Bitcoin. Now, here's where it gets a little bit weird because everyone's gone, oh, fantastic, Tether's buying Bitcoin. But you're like, hold on a minute. Yesterday you told us you were fine with Bitcoin. What the hell do you mean you've been out and bought Bitcoin today? So I'm not 100% certain on that. But anyway, Jay Benson, what's going on, buddy? Joe said, Chain will be making consolidation levels at these rates and we'll hope to buy these prices next year. Yeah, I mean, hope so. Hopefully we'll hope to buy these prices in the entire crypto market this time next year, but we won't be able to. So yeah, anyway, Tether coming in once again, buying a whopping great lump. I did want to just put this on though. This is the IBIT ETF. Look how crazy this is compared to other particular holders of it. I mean, that should tell you how insatiable the desire is from Wall Street to get into this market. And it keeps growing as well. Look at this. The NASDAQ is getting bullish. The NASDAQ files with the US SEC to enable trading of stocks in a tokenized form. This could be incredibly optimistic for tokens like Ondo Finance, Ethereum, and everything else. Bullish, if you ask me. Lots of good news coming in. And then interestingly enough, and this is probably where that I'm going to flip on a statement I have made, which is unusual for me. And I still might flip on the 2025, 2026 Bitcoin cycle end. I don't know yet. We'll see, by the way. We'll see. Maybe I'm going to, maybe I'm not. This is a kind of interesting chart. The fact of the matter is that we have seen the biggest exit of Bitcoin out of some of the bigger holdings since 2022. Pretty interesting. Bitcoin whales sold $12.7 billion of Bitcoin over the course of the last 30 days. Think about this. Bitcoin, though, holding up very strong and, in fact, above 112. So the biggest selling off of Bitcoin we have seen since 2022, and the price seems to grind higher. The price seems to grind higher. Think about that. Think about how all that's playing out. Very interesting indeed. Again, I'd like to see BTC push a little bit higher here, probably on the 4-hour and potentially even the 12-hour. You want to start to see this nice uptrend coming in. And yeah, we don't want to be in a world where we start to dip off. I want to see this continue to push into the upside. But I thought it was interesting that we are seeing significant outflows of BTC and, in fact, selling of BTC. And yet it goes high. That tells us that the official rotation from old to new is happening. Those people that bought Bitcoin at $3,000, selling at $100,000 or $112,000, people are coming in to buy at $112,000. Hopefully they're now sellers at $200K. That's what we want to see. So good news, if you ask me, right? And yeah, although it might feel very bearish at the moment in time, and people might be like, oh my God, the market cycle, they were right. It's all going to freaking zero. I am in a place where I don't think that's going to be the case, right? I don't think it's going to be the case. And I put a video out earlier. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I'm very much in the world that we have got more to go. And by the way, Dr. Profit here, not saying anything over the course of the last 24 hours. Well, this is good news as well, isn't it, if you ask me? Right, good. Okay, let's continue on. I announced this in the Discord as well earlier on, that market opens or pre-market open look pretty interesting. BlackRock selling about 730 Bitcoin. Don't think it's the biggest deal. Again, though, we see things like Fidelity buying. And by the way, have you seen the fact that Fidelity have launched a secret ETF? I bet you didn't. So yeah, Fidelity under the radar, launching a very interesting Ethereum ETFs, worthwhile keeping your eyes on it. Again, if you haven't gone over to the channel and watched that, I highly recommend doing so. Remember, we talk about cryptocurrency every day. We bring you the latest news, and I am really trying hard to bring the content in a slightly different way. So if anyone did see or decided to watch any of my content today, which would be obviously appreciative, then yeah, it's slightly different. Hopefully a slightly different edge to it. But yeah, check out this. Ondo, very bullish news here. And then, yeah, we put out some good videos today. Something I think they were anyway. So again, you can just come over here and you can subscribe and you can easily join it. But yeah, check out some of these videos. Very bullish indeed. And yeah, look at this. We're finally starting to get the views back as well, which is good news. So look, we appreciate your support. And again, while you're over there, if you want to join the memberships, then feel free to do that as well. Good news on ETFs. All right. We'll continue to see that. So other news, by the way, and that's the kind of market analysis. Other news, just to give you kind of a flavor as to what's going on. And yet again, why I think this week is setting up to be pretty bullish. Metaplanet acquiring 136 BTC. If you follow me on X, I did post this out. $15.2 million. They get into that. We're now running a BTC yield of 487%. To be the new intro. Do you like it? 37, yeah? Do you like it? Yeah, we got a new little intro on it as well. So yeah, hey, and I don't know if you guys can tell, but I did some work with my lighting to try and make it look a bit better. Like, hey, we're going max bullish. Do you think VeChain can 10x or 20 cents by the mid-November? I mean, could it? Yes. Was it likely? Maybe not. Hello, how are you doing? What do you think that the bull run is going to end? When? I still think the end of this year. I'm still 2025. There is very good cases for 2026, though. I'm not going to deny it. Very good case. Nadar, what's going on? Hey, Tubit, just got in. What did I miss? Hey, let me start right from the very start again and let you know. What did you miss? Aether going crazy. Market holding up. Stablecoin market booming. Whales selling off Bitcoin. I bought World Liberty Finance. I think that's about it. And now we're up to this. So yeah, anyway. Oh yeah, and don't use your ledger. That's where we want to get to. But yeah, Metaplanet coming in, which is good news. Likewise, institutional buyers. Now, this news today, by the way. What's going on, Shoesmith? What do you think about Pengu? Yeah, I talked about this. I don't have any exposure to it. I don't necessarily think that it's a bad play. I have put my eggs into the PetPay basket. That might be a bad play. And the bonk basket. I haven't done Pudgy Penguins. Maybe I should have done. I don't know. But you can't be in it all, can you? It's not like Pokemon, this game. You can't be in it all. Ondo caught my eye. Joe Bro, good shout. I think good opportunity. Go and watch that video as to why. This is genuinely me being dead serious here. Joe Bro, I did a video called, I have a series that's basically like why holding 1,000 of a particular coin is good news. So I've done like HBAR, XRP, XDC, XLM. The latest one I did was Ondo, and I did the video. This is honest truth. I did the video, and then I finished the video, sent the video off to my editor, and then went and bought more Ondo Finance. I literally went and bought more Ondo Finance after doing the video. I convinced myself it was a good idea. Can Near Protocol go to $5? I hope so. Yeah, we're in it for the investment group. Can it? Yes. You got to understand. Hopefully, we're going to see some crazy stuff going on in this market. So Calamari, Pepe to 305, mate. I hope so. Let me tell you. I hope so. The investment fund got you on Ondo too. That's true, yeah. That's true. The power of community. That's why it's important. That's why this community is very different. And I know you and I were talking about this with Tim and Jim the other night. Tim and Jim, get that? This is why this community is important. This is why if you just want to join a community, it's going to tell you to go and buy the worst coin in the world and tell you you made a great decision, then go and find someone else. This channel's all about, hey, did you buy it? Did you make a good choice? If you're not, then prepare to get some feedback. Remember, Breakfast of Champions. Will Ondo hit $2 by 2027? Oh, man, 2027. Hold on. Bitcoin will be like 230K by then. Yeah, I would have thought so. I think Ondo could do $2 this season. Definitely. I used some of my MYX profits to buy AVAX. Nice. Yeah, I think AVAX is another big undervalued coin. Shout out to Vern for that one. So, institutional buyers may break Bitcoin's traditional 4-year cycle. Tom Lee wants sustained ETF inflows and corporate adoption introduce counter-cycle dynamics. He talks about this on a very interesting interview where he discusses the fact that, well, he believes the Bitcoin cycle and the bull market is just starting. Why? There is a continuous, insatiable demand for Bitcoin. And what's important here is the more and more companies buy Bitcoin, the more and more exposure companies have, and therefore the higher the price goes, it then becomes cyclical back to companies buying more. It's almost like it's like getting on the bandwagon and then you can't get off it. This is where it becomes really interesting, and this is where you start to potentially get into crazy moves that we could never even imagine. Now, I'm not for 1 second sitting here and telling you guys that, well, we're going to go to freaking the moon this year, because that would be not right. However, it is important to understand that, well, there is a lot of macro sentiment in the market that could push us way, way higher than we're going there. Powell needs to stop to drop rates. I made the wagon. Let's do it, fair ground. I don't know what it means, but yeah, rates are coming 17th. The question is how big they are. China's trade surplus on pace for all-time high despite sharp drop in US bonds. Pretty interesting. So yeah, surplus on trade. China's going to be cutting. That's going to be pretty interesting as well. But yeah, so Fundstrat Chief Investment Officer Tom Lee cautioned institutional buyers could disrupt the Bitcoin traditional 4-year cycle. If you believe this and you believe that institutional adoption of cryptocurrency is going to go even crazier, then you absolutely sit in the 2025 bull market cycle, and therefore you probably get into a world where you could see at least a $200,000 Bitcoin, maybe crazy enough, maybe even a little bit higher. So again, important to think about how all of this plays out. And the fact here, look, the equity market liquidity has ended Bitcoin's traditional 4-year cycle. People are just dumping billions of dollars into the crypto market. And yeah, the debate is, well, are they going to sell it? We'll see. Now, Bud, hope you're feeling. How's you feeling on BTC? Yeah, good. I think this week's going to be a good week. Definitely. Matthew, I definitely think it's going to be a good week, by the way. 0.5% now on the table for real. Yeah, I definitely on the table. Yeah, I mean, the current, let's have a look, dead quick. How long have you held BTC for? I've been invested in the crypto market since 2017. That was when I first purchased Bitcoin. And I have had, I bought like Ethereum at $70, Bitcoin at 2,000. So again, though, just so we clear, because everyone then thinks, oh my God, you must be like some sort of crazy lunatic. I have been rugged, scammed, lost everything, like over leveraged, over borrowed, all that kind of crazy shit. So I'm in no way, I'm just a normal dude, talks about cryptocurrency, that's invested in the market. I have a full-time job, I have 3 kids, do all that kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean? I am about as normal as you could possibly, I mean, debatable normal, but you get my point. I'm a bog standard dad who likes cryptocurrency. The only difference is, and I'm going to take a slight little bit of credit for this. The only difference is I've come to YouTube. I started a YouTube channel to try and be a little bit different. That's then spawned what I think is a very, very good community of people like-minded that want to succeed in this market. If you're going to be part of that, join us. No bullshit on this channel. We just talk about all things going on. So yeah, but 2017 was my first exposure to it. Got into BitConnect, got wrecked, and yeah, been building ever since. Ready for this bull market. So the fact of the matter is we sit now at 88.4%. Here you go. Look, TikTok, look at this. 88.4% believe we'll get a 25 basis points cut. This is now growing though. 11.6 believe we could get a 50 basis points cut. It is all going to be on data that comes in, right? It is going to be about data that comes in. You've got the PPI report coming in on Wednesday. Expectations of 0.3, which would be good, by the way. Month over month down 0.1 versus the forecast, and 0.6 against previous. That would be freaking huge. CPI data, we'll touch on this probably Wednesday night. Just FYI, I don't know if I'll be live on YouTube tomorrow night. I have a normal work thing, unfortunately, again, so I've got to go to a work meeting. So I might I think I did it on TikTok last time I was out with the work thing. I don't think I'll get live on YouTube tomorrow night. I'll let you guys know, but I don't think I will. Because I've got to do a freaking 9-to-5 job, all right? That's why. Anyway, CPI data, 2.8 forecast, 2.9 potential consensus. So we'll have to see how that one plays out. Good. All right. That is updates on the markets, update on the news and everything else. That is that. All right, cool. Let's keep an eye on what's going on in BTC on the short term. That's probably going to be a good idea. And, I didn't not mean to do that. And then we'll kind of keep it close to that. So we'll start to look at any coins you've got, any thoughts you've got, any opinions or views. We can take a look at some DeFi markets. And yeah, anything you guys want to take a look at is all on the cards. Yeah, we'll just kind of hang out for a little bit. Anyway, with the hack at the moment, is it safe to buy crypto right now or just do nothing? It's only really a problem on ledgers, and they're doing almost like a, think of it this way, it's like a sleight of hand trick. So it's not as like aggressive as like exchange hacks or anything else. What's happening is they are basically implanting what looks like a traditional ledger screen, and then what you're clicking send on is going to a different wallet address than you think you're doing. If you just check the screen, which loads of people don't do, Ledger like makes you check it, you should be fine. My view is if you want to do it, check it, double check it, triple check it. If you don't need to do it, don't do it. That's my opinion right now. We can have more. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, we can do a community Discord chat. Yeah, we'll get to the point where we'll do community, like we'll do Discord live streams for premium members. We'll do general chit chat. Like, don't forget the meeting room in the Discord is just open. Like, if you guys want to go in there and talk about all things cryptocurrency, like you don't need me to be in there. That one is open. Again, link in the description if you want to get involved in that. But our Discord does have meeting room 1 is available for anyone to use. And then there is 2 other groups in there, which are, one is for members and channel members and premium Discord users, and the other is for the investment group as well. So I'm just trying to find where you are. 37 of you in the Discord. You'll have to message me and let me know what your name is in there. But yeah, that's in there as well. So good news. Good news, right? Bits plays to right. It's the daddy of crypto. Powell is starting to believe Trump was correct. Rates should be 100 basis points lower. Imagine if he came in. I mean, a lot of people think, and I've heard the narrative of maybe they should drop 100 basis points. It would 100% knacker the market because everyone thinks there's a massive recession coming. Can you take a little look at Ethereum? Yeah, 100%. We talked about Ethereum the other day. I'll bring the chart so you guys can see it as well. Here you go. Look. So my view on Ethereum right now is it's a little bit bearish, and that might not be what you want to hear, but this line is critical, and ETH is trading below it, which tells me ETH might actually come down, and we need to be mindful of that. Now, just to give you some clarity, by the way, I am super macro bullish on Ethereum, have been for a while now, and yeah, I think there's a lot of good stuff coming, but when you take where ETH is right now, you start to play out a very interesting chart. If you go from kind of the, well, I mean, you could probably do it from the bottom of this move, really. It's probably more likely where we get to. You start to see how this plays out. Look at this, the 0.5 at 4243. If we lose that range here on ETH, sorry, not that one, excuse me. This one here, the 4243 range, expect us to retest this lower range that we've had, which is the 382 Fibonacci at 4073. You'd argue 4,000 just to give you some clarity. If we were to lose that, we could come down. There's nothing stopping a retest of 4,000 if the general market does push down. It would require the overall market to come down, though, in order for ETH to come down that way. But I think a much favorable position, by the way, for ETH would be seeing it pushing back above this middle line that we've had drawn on here for a while. So that middle line's at around 4.3. 4.3, that's what we want to do. I'm 37 in the Discord. All right, cool. I'll change you so you get the access to all the cool stuff. Like, how do you know if this bull run will run into 2026 or not? Mountain Fear is holding too long. 100%. How do you know that it's going to go into 2026? You don't. All right, let's just call it as it is. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you anything different. What you've got to do is understand that if we were to go into 2026, what would be the reason we were pushing it there? Well, you'd see way more macro bullish news coming in, more buying coming in. You'd see bigger rate cuts, the market easing. You'd see more capital flowing into the market, which could send us then furthermore into 2026. Think about this. If, for example, the ETF market was to go even bigger than what it is right now, bear in mind that's an $11.5 trillion market currently. If they were to come in at least with just 10% of that, $1 trillion into the crypto market, you're talking the market going absolutely crazy. I, for one, just to give you an idea, I still think we finish 2025, but it wouldn't surprise me one little bit to not go into 2026. And I think it's worthwhile noting on that. You could get anything that comes in, but hopefully we'll get some indications as to market cycle top, people posting crazy gains, market indicators telling us that the market cycle top is in, exhaustion in terms of some of the buyers, which it doesn't feel like it. Doesn't feel like buyers are exhausted at the minute. You know, alts aren't really moving. you know, you're used to seeing things like Aether going crazy like that in alt season. So yeah, I think we've definitely got a little bit more to go, to be honest. A little bit more to go, in my opinion. Matt, ETH will pull back up very fast. Yeah, I still think ETH hits 5 figures this bull market, definitely. It's going to be a banger year for crypto next year. I mean, like I said, I hope it goes into 2026 because I think it's bigger if it goes to 2026 than if it finishes. I'll be taking profits on the way up. That is the best piece of advice in the world. Joe Bro says, JavaScript ecosystem markup and make sure you get your wallets from dealer and not third party. Exactly, Joe Bro. Joe Bro knows what's up. Craig says, just check the ETH heat map and there is a lot of liquidity up for grabs at 4286. Bullish. How you know, you wait and find out. I mean, that's true as well. 2-bit, I'm 37 on Discord. Okay, yeah, cool. I thought that would be the case, but I can't see you. Where does it put people with numbers? Are you actually... Oh, there you are. There you are. Look at this. Rolls. You get that roll. Bosh. There you go. There you go, baby. You should have access to a couple of other little bits and pieces now. Now you are officially in the legendary crew. So there you go. I think you should have access to some of the other bits and pieces. Again, we are still building out the Discord. So yeah, it is free to join, by the way. Definitely get your asses in there. It's worth it, in my opinion. And yeah, we're going to build that mother trucker to be one of the best Discords on the freaking planet. So get your asses in there. It's epic. Can you see ETH testing 4,500 before going below 200 support? I mean, I could see ETH retesting a new all-time high personally, and I thought that's probably where we would get to. But I mean, look, ETH right now is a little bit bearish. You need to understand that, and that's not a bad thing. Remember, markets are a little bit uneasy. Yes, we saw a nice move on BTC. I think people are predicting good data, which is what it's showing, but markets are still a little bit unsure. I still think ETH will have a big run though. I still think 5 figures on ETH this year, definitely. Hit the like, you YouTube people. Yeah, smash up the like button, everybody. And equally here, you guys are crushing it, as always you do on TikTok. You absolute set of legends. 13,000 likes. Let's get it. YouTube guys can't even get over 50. I mean, what the hell's that about? What the hell's that about? Right. Good. Hype3.coolcoin. What the hell is that? We can take a look at some DeFi players if anyone is interested, by the way. Always fun to see what's going on. Nothing really over my radar. Nothing coming onto the agenda, shall we say. It's all a little bit quiet over on DeFi world. A couple of coins having nice little moves. Simon the Gator had a decent move. Mona having a decent move. So, yeah, all a bit quiet, though, to be honest. All a little bit quiet, if I'm honest. Hype3 cool coin. Oh, here we go. It's down 4%. 8 months ago, this mother trucker launched. 85k market cap. What is that? Okay, so let's get this one straight. Even if we get a rate cut, would Altseason begin? Altseason's already here, bro. I know people don't think it is, but it definitely is. Definitely is. Altseason index is pushing very bullish. It's I mean, it's down actually today. It was higher yesterday, 59, but it's still going in my opinion. I think Altseason is here. You know, ETH trading at 4,300 there or thereabouts. You've got breakouts happening in certain coins. Nothing's pumping in altcoins. And are you crazy right now? Solana's up 4%, ZebX up 7%. What have you got? 61% up on Aether, albeit that's down. It was 70% at one point, which is kind of insane. You've got Say up 3.5%, WorldCoin up 46%. Memes are starting to move, which again, if you followed my second channel, I talked about that. So yeah, I mean, look, maybe this is the thing. People get super like hung up on what's in their particular portfolio, but you can't deny it. I mean, look at XRP. It's back above, or nearly going to be back above $3. So yeah, I think we're all good. Hit the like if you YouTube people. Yeah, do it. Do it. See, Fairground knows what's going on. Fairground knows a style. The Temu wallet holds cash and credit cards. Yeah, definitely don't buy your wallet off Temu. That is a bad idea. XRP, look, XRP flipped bullish on the 12-hour, which is good news, and actually flipped macro bullish. And do you know why I'm a bit more optimistic on what's going on with XRP? There's lots of people telling us that XRP is garbage and it's going to zero again, which generally means that XRP is normally due a breakout. Look at this as well. Important to see here, the breakout happening right now on XRP. I'm just going to give you guys a little quicker look on that. This is on the 12-hour. This is obviously where we've been trading since early July. We just broke out, as you can see here, on two of the key indicators, the 50 and the 20-day exponential moving average, starting to stick to the upside. This looking bullish as well. XRP is looking like a great setup. If you haven't caught my video talking about this yesterday, you definitely should go and watch it. Talks about kind of what's coming, what I think the setup for this week is, and why, therefore, I believe a breakout is coming on XRP. And for many of you that have been with me for a while, RTA is getting way better than it ever used to be. I mean, literally way better than it ever used to be. So, yeah, make sure you dialed in. But yeah, XRP, by the way, attract all, I think looks pretty good. I think it's a nice setup for XRP. I definitely would see us breaking $3 this week, if not 310. Curtis, you need to get in the right alts then. What's up with Curtis? Curtis, I'm in the wrong alts yet. Need to be part of that membership. I'm kidding. That's not true, actually. Not yet. Do you see ETH flipping bullish anytime soon? I'm in a long. Do I see it flipping bullish? It depends where your long's from, is what I would say. But, I mean, yes. But it's easy for me to say, well, I think ETH's going to flip bullish because I believe it will. At the minute, ETH's a little bit bearish. So, again, if you are trading it, trade with caution. I think it's always important. It is down. I do think we could see a nice resurgence on the back of those rate cuts and, more importantly, that data that's going to come out. I think the data is going to suggest rate cuts are absolutely dialed in and will suggest we'll get more aggressive rate cuts as the kind of end of the year comes. So, yeah, I could see the markets flipping bullish. Be mindful, though. History tells us these kind of things, CPI, PPI, rate cuts, all of that is very volatile moments. If you are way over leveraged, you have to be careful. That's what I would say. But I think longer term, yeah. My lower range, by the way, on ETH is 4,000. If your liquidation point is below that, I think, this is not financial advice, by the way, I think you should be okay. Can't hold it against me if you're not, but I don't foresee, unless something crazy happens with the data, Jerome Powell comes out and basically says, you guys, like, I'm leaving in March anyway, and your whole crypto market's a scam, and I'm going to do everything. Then, you know, we're probably going to be slightly bearish on it, but I don't believe he's going to come out and say that. Steve says, hello, are we winning? I think so, Steve, yeah. Yeah, I think so, mate. I think today's been a pretty good day. Pretty good day. I saw one of the old legends come in. Here he is. Look, Johnny Howie says, Athea and WorldCoin did me well today and was going to buy both over the weekend and didn't. Nice, bro. Yeah, Athea looking super bullish. On a little bit of a pullback, but I think that's perfectly normal. Did we, or has anyone actually got the reason as to why Athea's gone crazy today? Anyone? I don't know, and I feel like I should know, but I don't know. But there's just nothing. There's nothing. It's just kind of gone kaboom out of nowhere, and it's going crazy. Anyway, I'm sure there's a good reason. I'm sure there's a good reason. But yeah, what's going on, Johnny? Good to see you, man. What's your top 5 best coins under $1 at the moment? Well, I'm glad you asked that because, yeah, I do an entire video series on what coins should be buying. But where would I get to? Under $1 right now. Coins that, again, this is not financial advice, but where I think will do very, very well. HBAR. HBAR is under $1. I think that one's definitely got some solid upside movement, and I think that's a great opportunity to get into that one for sure. I would argue, and this is probably more speculative, but I do think it'll do very well. Movement. We know that the Trump administration is kind of messed around a little bit with that. I think that one's got some pretty optimistic moves to come for sure. But yeah, I definitely think that one is certainly worthwhile taking a look at and having a bit of time on. I think that could play out favorably. I mean, people are going to think I'm a lunatic here, and I've gone from super bearish to super bullish, but I mean, will there be financial? Under $1 feels like a pretty good option, in my opinion. I think Jupiter will do some pretty good moves over the course of the coming, maybe 6 to 12 months, especially if things start to get this lend, platform going. This like borrow and lend platform, I think could be pretty crazy as well. So, Ondo Finance is still under $1, isn't it? So I think that one's definitely worthwhile taking a look at. And then you could argue and say maybe Cardano. You'd argue if they get their stablecoin shit sorted out, could end up being super, super crazy as well. But yeah, I mean, there's some great coins. And obviously, I would argue that most of the meme coin sector, Bonk, Pepe, Brett, all of those are probably under $1 as well, which I think could be very, very bullish. So yeah, but I think that if I was to rank them, if you said to me, right, 2-bit, you have to pick one coin that you are super crazy on, that you think is going to do some massive numbers, and it's under $1 right now, and I would say, Jesus Christ, it's pretty big filters. You'd probably edge some bets against HBAR, I think. Okay, says Atheist strategic partner with Credible Finance. Wow, I didn't even know what Credible Finance is. Mike, what's going on, buddy? Says, hey there, 2-bits. Have you been, honey buns? Whenever we go to the moon, let's go out for a sausage dinner, Twinkie pie. Yeah. Yeah, I'm down for that. You know it as well. My bags are pumping today. Curtis, let's get it. You gotta believe it. Yeah, we don't want Bitcoin. I don't want Bitcoin. I don't want Bitcoin to cool off though. I want it to hold above that 112 range. I don't want to end up flipping bearish before I start doing some content tonight. 2-bit slowly getting more bullish on HBAR. Yeah, look, I've been putting some content about HBAR. Do you know why I wasn't? I was way more bullish on Algorand, and I called the Algorand move before the Algorand move happened. So hopefully you guys got into that. Like I called the Sui move. I called Sui at 271. That was when I took a trade in a buy. 344, still in that, and I'm still in a Bitcoin long as well. So yeah, good news. Good news. They released a credit card. Nice. I like it. Half of the W supply is now staked, Tim. Did we look at that yesterday? I feel like we did. 𝗥𝗲𝗹𝘁𝗲𝗱, diesel time. What's going on, buddy? Yeah, 𝗥𝗲 on a slight correction today, down about 3.5%. I don't think it's crazy. The only thing I would note, it is something to look at here. Look, 𝗥𝗲 did lose the 20-day exponential moving average. You might see 𝗥𝗲 retest the 23-cent range. You might see it. I know people don't want me to say that. And if we were to get to that point, this would be where I would say this is where I think 𝗥𝗲 lets itself down, is that it can't sustain bullish sentiment. Why? Because I don't believe too many people use that ecosystem. Again, crypto.com is a marketeering genius, right? They're a great company that do it. But at the minute, all 𝗥𝗲's doing is going down. So keep your eyes on that. For sure. 𝗥𝗲 up 8% is counterintuitive to the rest of the markets. It did look like it got rejected, by the way, at the 4-3 range. So watch out. It could pull back a little bit further on 𝗥𝗲 network. I sold on my 𝗥𝗲. I got out of it on the last pump at 5, whatever it got to, because I just couldn't deal with it anymore. I know people are super bullish long term on it. I 100% agree and think it's good. But for me, anything that's counterintuitive to the way the market's moving, I'm like, nah, can't be bothered. So I think what they do in terms of payroll infrastructure, super good. But yeah, I sold my position on 𝗥𝗲. I'm not in 𝗥𝗲, but I was. Quick call H by now, so it moves. I'll try, Calamari. I'll try. 2-bit getting kind of bullish. Tie the man down. I know. No. I mean, I'm bullish on BNB, and that's at 877. I think BNB is going to do well. I got some BNB before it went to 800. If BTC holds are on 112, are we cooking? I think so, Matt. Yeah, I think we need to see BTC hold above this 112 line. That's what I'd be looking to break above. Again, if we go into the 1 hour chart, though, it does look a little bit uncomfortable. Retest of the 20-day exponential on the hour. If we get a break to the upside, then yeah, good news. Hopefully we do, by the way. And we've seen this. We've tested it a couple of times today. So yeah. Been holding H about 4.5 years. So got to totally agree. Nice, Steve. If BTC, I said that, didn't I? Yeah. Hopefully we see that, by the way. Good. Right. Oh my God. It's 10 to 10. Where are these live streams going? Man, we need to kind of extend the live stream to hour and a half, don't we, really? 𝗥𝗲 will go a bit way high. Yeah, head and shoulders on the day for Ondo. Nice. Yeah, Ondo's starting to play out pretty well. Again, I think there's some good opportunities. I actually bought more Ondo the other day. I bought in at 90 cents, I think it was. DCAing again on some of these. So look, again, this is why we talk about making sure that, you know, kind of have some capital on the side so that you can put it into the markets when the opportunity arises. But, you know, probably at a good point right now. Hold on the 20-day on the hour. Hopefully we get a bounce. Yeah, I think that's holding up pretty well, in fairness. 2-bit Brian needs to go to sleep. Brian, see you later. Diesel time. Thanks for the share, man. I appreciate it. So we get everybody down here. Look, I think it's like here. Press this. Share it out to all your friends. Again, this is a no-nonsense cryptocurrency YouTube channel and TikTok channel where, look, I want to answer your questions. I want to give you my opinions. I welcome conversation. And don't forget, we do have a totally free Discord in which you can join as well. So if you want to do that, by all means, head on over there. Link is in the description on YouTube. You can find that, join our totally free Discord, and yeah, get involved. If you want to support my work, you can subscribe here on TikTok. Also, you can subscribe and join the members on YouTube. It's like, I don't even know how much it is, like $6 or something like that. Anyway, Jasmine's almost there. Nadar. Oh, I was going to show you the Jasmine news, wasn't I? There was actually some good news for Jasmine. And I've always said this about Jasmine. When they start to push good news out, when they start to actually do their jobs and work a little bit harder and get their shit together, then you start to get into a world where good news tends to follow it, and we start to then see a little bit more optimism. So the breakout here, but look at this. Jasmine data free flow with trust and idea born in Japan, and this was Hara coming out there. They also recently got a patent in Africa and Eurasia around their data democratization and intellectual property. Again, important. So yeah, they've been kind of grinding right now. I said this in our Junctions architecture reveal, discover the fascinating architecture behind the pioneering AI layer 2. So yeah, hopefully they can kind of just keep things moving. Jasmine hopefully will then start to push, and yeah, hopefully we'll see some positive news on it sooner rather than later. Fingers crossed. Thanks to be your content is spot on. Hey Jesse, thanks so much, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Chris Moore says, do we dump at the rate cut announcement? I don't think so. Only reason the markets would take a very negative turn would be because we've priced it in and we don't quite get what we want. Bear in mind, Jerome will speak on the rate cut day. So, you know, what you want to see is he comes out and says, like, we've cut rates in line with supporting of the labor market. He doesn't necessarily say anything about inflation. albeit he will. Inflation maybe cooling or whatever. What you don't want him to do is come out and basically say, we've had to do it because the labour market's fucked. That's what you don't want. So we'll see. Hey, make XRP great again. Says, thank you for your cheer 2-bit. Hey, thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I just want more out of Massachusetts, so even know what that means. But anyway, Nadar, well done. At least you haven't lost patience. Nadar says, long-term waiting for the bull run. Solana, yes. Major gains, Crow as well. Yeah. Solana, by the way, I think is set for a, I think Solana of all of the coins right now looks pretty big, right? I think Solana's upside opportunity is big. As I would argue with AVAX as well, this, albeit not as aggressive as Solana, is forming a very, very nice uptrend here and looking like it's really starting to push support. This is a 12-hour as well, but look at this. Look how this is starting to play out. And in my opinion, I think he's set for AVAX making a breakout. I really do. I think AVAX is set to have a nice little move to the upside. So again, volume starting to come in. We are trending positive on the RSI and the MACD combined chart, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. But yeah, so I think Solana and AVAX could absolutely start to drive an altcoin push, which I think would be, I think it'd be good. I think it'd be super bullish. Have you mentioned Crow just joined? 𝗦𝗲𝗿𝗁𝗵𝗲𝘀? Is that Waddy as in Waddy or is it Waddy as in Waddy? Maybe it's Waddy as in Waddy. Yeah, I mentioned Crow. On a downtrend, it's lost the 20-day exponential moving average. Just be mindful, you may see that push down a little bit further. So worth noting, I think. Worth noting, I think. Hi, do you like XDC? I do like XDC, actually. I have some content about XDC on my YouTube channel. Go and check it out. Is PPI and CPI news normally bullish? PPI was a disaster last time. CPI was washed away, has been not as credible as it maybe should have been. These two are very important. These two are probably the biggest CPI and PPI data we've got so far in this bull market. So they can be either way, by the way. If they miss forecast, then bearish. If they deliver better than forecast, it's good news. Any thoughts on Arbitrum? So let's bring up the Arbitrum chart, by the way, because we got into this a while back, and I'm trying to remember. It was definitely like $1, wasn't it? It was like 89 cents, I think we bought in this. So my view on Arbitrum, by the way, is there is no real purpose for it. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's basically a DAO coin. There's not really doing anything. So we got in at 80. I thought it was going to push the new shiny layer 2. My view, and look at this over the year, it just hasn't done anything. It's up 0.03% in the year. That should tell you everything you need to know about Arbitrum. I'm not saying sell it. I'm not saying buy it. What I'm telling you is, as of right now, when Bitcoin's breaking new all-time highs, Ethereum's trading at 4,300, you're seeing altcoins go crazy. Arbitrum is 0.03% better than it was this time last year. That doesn't tell you that it's a bullshit DAO coin that's doing nothing, then that's my opinion. And I'm sorry if you're like, entire life savings are in that coin. It's just my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor, as always. Fairground says, got any XLM, Mike? No, but I talked about this before, Fairground. I want to kind of get a little bit of a joint portfolio. I'd love to get an ETF exposure to like a ISO ETF, so HBAR, Algorand, XLM, XRP, and like XDC or something like that, like a 5 altcoin ISO ETF or something. I think that'd be quite good fun. So yeah, Python's up today. Yeah, we look at Python, the investment from Pinlink. I have no idea what Pinlink is. I tell you what, I did want to look at with you guys. Is it? We could take a look at Pinlink. I wanted to look at this. Is it this? Yeah. Now, it is important, this, everybody, right? It is important. And you guys need to be important to this as well, TikTok, all right? I'm going to show you guys something. And it's important to reference. And I'm not going to flex much here, but I'm going to flex a little bit. Now, if you remember, we talked about this yesterday on the channel. XVM. And everyone was going, hey, XVM's the next crazy thing. It's going to be amazing. Everyone's super bullish on it. It's going to the freaking moon. It's down 40%. It's going to the freaking nowhere near the moon. It's going to the opposite of the moon. It's going to the sea. Is that the sea? I don't know. Anyway, I didn't know what it was. I talked about this yesterday, and it's done exactly the same as that bullshit DG coin. I knew it was going to go down. Glad I didn't get involved in it. And again, just another reason why you should be dialed into this channel, which is my opinion. Do you have any info about the massive crypto malware that's going on? I mean, we've got a little bit. Alfred, basically, it's affecting hardware wallets such as ledgers. And what it's doing is essentially putting a fake ledger screen. It's changing the wallet addresses of which people are sending. So it's not particularly infecting coins, breaching security protocols onto wallets. All it's doing is it's changing the actual address, and then you send it to the different address versus the one you want to send it to. Here's my view. If you don't need to do it, don't do it. If you don't need to access your ledger, don't access your ledger. That's my opinion. I aren't going to do it. I've not signed into MetaMask. I've not done anything. If I need to look at anything, I will look at my phone. I'm not going to access my ledger on my phone. I don't need to do anything anyway. My ledger's long-term, you know, super bullish case, cryptocurrency, so I won't be touching that. But yeah, that's kind of where it is right now. 37 says it's going in the bin. Yeah, this is the coin that needs to go in the bin. I need like a soundboard, I think. You know, we've had one of those soundboards before, but, you know, it needs to be like a... Yup. In the bin it goes. There you go. Look, see, Stream Elements comes up. Says, don't be afraid to ask any questions, just like Mr. Holmes. There you go. Do you think VeChain can 10x to 20 cents by mid-November? I mean, here's what you got. Here's where I would ask why. Why could it do it? Based on technicals, is technicals good enough? No. It needs actual sentiment as well. So I'm not close enough to VeChain, just being dead honest with everybody. Do the technicals suggest this could do a 10x by mid-November? So you're talking what? 10 weeks. Do the technicals right now on VeChain suggest this could do a 10x? I don't know. On the 12-hour, it looks a little bit bearish. On the short term, it is just about breaking out. I think you'd be better placed to see where that looks as we need to get these rate cuts in. These rate cuts are skewing the markets a little bit. People are, you know, probably making bad decisions. Man, Athea is really kind of pushing down, which is kind of a bit of annoying, really. People are absolutely maxing out those profits right now. Should have freaking sold. Anyway, but yeah, that's my view. Have you ever tried crypto copy trading? Yes, a little bit. And grid trading's okay, actually. Grid trading's fine. If you can set them up right, grid trading's fine. But yeah, a little bit. My opinion, though, if you have to copy trade people, you shouldn't be trading. That's just my view, by the way. Because ultimately, you are then just relying on someone else to get it right. And if you don't really understand why they're doing it right, it's just luck more than anything. The hack has been misunderstood in terms of Ledger's involvement. Yeah, exactly. I think they're just using Ledger as like the hardware wallet, and everyone goes, oh, freaking hell, it's like Ledger. It goes for everybody, doesn't it? Tangum, Trezor, any particular hardware wallet. Have you ever heard of NPCS? Don't think so. Should I have done? I guess is probably the question. Maybe I should have done. It's not only for Ledger. No, it's basically for any hardware wallet is what it's doing. And equally, you're much more at risk with like hot wallets. So Exodus wallet, MetaMask wallet, Trust wallet, anything that's like software based as opposed to hardware based. Like now, my ledger isn't connected to my computer, so there's no way for my cryptocurrency to leave my ledger. No way for it to do it. It's off the internet. It's not connected. So yeah, that's why hot wallets are a little bit more done. Yeah, if they get the wrong stuff. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%. 100% fair ground. Good. This hack has been misunderstood. Yeah, I agree as well. So, but I watch All in Crypto for the UK starting XRP at $19 a cycle. Wow. I mean, it could do, I guess. It could do, I guess, yeah. I mean, I'd be bullish on that. $19 would be pretty strong. That's what, 6x from where we are right now? Pretty bullish. Top 5 cryptos invest $5,000 now. James, top 5 to invest. I mean, not financial advice. And if you do it and you lose all your money, that's the challenge of the cryptocurrency. Where would I go right now? The question shouldn't be, what do I think the top 5 coins that I'd put $5,000 in? What do I think are undervalued coins that potentially have more upside than others? Here's where I would go to. And I'll only tell you because I bought some of this. I have bought WLFI, so I think right now at 2117. I mean, I would probably wait for maybe another correction. I got in at just under 2, so just under 20 cents. I think WLFI, given its backing, wouldn't be the bad shout. I think that AVAX is undervalued. I definitely think that one's got a strong move to the upside. Where would I get to in a couple of other coins that we track on here? I mean, I still think Pepe is undervalued, but that's probably a more risk play for me than I think anything else. H-bar I talked about. I think H-bar's definitely got some good potential to the upside for sure. How many is that I've done? 3 maybe. And then I would definitely go on. So like, for example, I think Aerodrome Finance is great. You get 21% APR staking. So I've got a decent bag staked in APR, staked in Aerodrome Finance as well. So, but yeah, I'd definitely be looking at things like H-bar, AVAX. I mean, I still think Solana's undervalued, but $215 is probably a little bit pricey but you know, if you think about it, you get $1,000, you get 4 Solana. It's not the craziest number as well. If you had $5,000, then obviously spread it into 5 and then DCA on each project with 2050. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Exactly that, Craig. Curtis says go $5,000 in WLFI. That'd be wild. Tim says SHX. I mean, you guys always bring this up, and I hate looking at it because I sold this way, way too early. Where's it at right now? I mean, not that I take any pleasure in this dumping, by the way, but secretly I actually do. Where are you at now? $300 million market cap. Me. Crazy, bros. It's crazy. More risk. Ethereum. Yeah, Ethereum. You talked about that one before, didn't you? Ethereum could be interesting. Up 10% on the day. That is not. This isn't the right one though. I would put more into Crow. Would you? H-bar is good. This bull run. Yeah, I think so. Hey, James, no problem, man. Again, not constituting at all, by the way, financial advice. Not at all. But yeah, some of the coins I would recommend looking at, by the way. Here's what I put. Again, some of them are higher price points. Movement, I talked about that. BITUNIX, I think, has got some good opportunities. Again, Story, albeit might be a little bit overpriced. I actually will have another video coming out about some top altcoins to keep your eyes peeled on. So yeah, you guys seem to kind of enjoy those sort of things. So yeah. What is the Java vulnerability? It basically means that it's able to change the coding on that to send your crypto to a different wallet. That's what it is, basically. Give me a 5x Aether and I'll ride off into the sunset. Let's hope so. Why on earth do people say the market cap does not apply to XRP? I don't know, to be honest. A lot of people put way more emphasis on market cap. Like they'll say, oh, XRP can't get to $100 because the market cap would be trillions. You're like, yeah, kind of. You know, remember, market cap is a simple number. It's the total amount of coins times by the current price. Well, if you remove some of those coins, all of a sudden your market cap comes down. So is market cap important? I mean, you could argue a little bit. But it depends how the distribution of the coin actually is. I think that's where people go to. But so many people just put so much emphasis on market cap, which by the way, can be changed. You could burn 50% of the XRP supply and the market cap would half, like, overnight. You'd then end up with, like, you know, I mean, what is XRP right now? Just an example. And I know it's all hypothetically, but yeah, they could burn it and it would be an $80 billion cryptocurrency. It would drop to the number 7 coin. But ultimately, the way to look at it is there a demand for it? Are people going to pay more for it? Remember how the cryptocurrency market works. Peer-to-peer, baby. Unless it's got a true use case, which you could argue XRP does. Are people prepared to pay more today than they were yesterday? That's how prices go up. That's how I would always look at it. But yeah, that's my view. Would a 2 million market cap take the same amount of capital to 100x? Would a $2 million market cap take the same amount of capital to 100x? No. It would take way less. Think about it. Think about this. A $2 million market cap to do 100x would then be a $200 million market cap. Right? A $176 billion market cap to 100x would be freaking trillions. So yeah, it would take way more capital to 100x. That's why if you want 100x, people tend to try and get into DeFi, early stage coins, as opposed to late coins. You know, for Bitcoin to do 100x, imagine the amount of money that needs to come in at a $2.2 trillion market cap. Be crazy. Once the altcoins are out and the open price rockets. Yeah, that's true. That is true as well. So, good. Right. 7 minutes past 10. That does bring us to the end of the show as always. Burning make it more expensive. Does it? Does it? I think it does. Depends on who holds the supply, but yeah. I mean, they're not going to. Market cap is more important than memes, in my opinion. Yeah, 100%. Very good at 42. I don't feel any fear, do you, Toby? No. We're bullish. Anyway, that does bring us to the end of the show, by the way. I don't think I will be live on YouTube tomorrow night. Unfortunately, I have to go to a 9 to 5. Do those 9 to 5 grinds. But as always, we are trying to fix that. We're focused in on the market. We're trying to put some really good content out on the channel. Trying to keep you guys updated on TikTok as well. Basically, I am strategically working my freaking backside off to make sure that everybody does well. If you want to support my work, as always, you can subscribe to my TikTok channel. Also, you can join and be a member on YouTube or just join our free Discord. We really appreciate you guys in there. I will be back. I might be live on TikTok tomorrow. Me and Vern have done kind of a weird TikTok-y thing when I've been at work, because I can obviously do it in a hotel room on TikTok, so on my phone. So I may do a live stream on TikTok. I will announce it both in the Discord and equally on my social media platforms. But until then, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Watch out. Markets look pretty optimistic as we edge a day nearer to some of those big key data reports coming out. But until tomorrow, thanks so much. Until Wednesday, excuse me. Thanks so much, everybody. Catch you guys on the flip side.